Mr. Investor, today we're going to be talking about Nano Dimensions, and we're going to be talking about a current speculation surrounding Nano Dimensions acquiring a company that is synergetic to them. So Nano Dimension has just priced in a $250 million direct offering, and I knew they wanted to raise that money for something when I saw the keywords pursuing strategic opportunities, including possible business combination transactions. So immediately I thought to myself, they've raised so much capital, how much cash have they actually got on hand now, and what kinds of companies should they purchase in order to get a stronghold in that 3D printing world? They apparently stated that they're at least 2 years ahead of competition, but for them to raise capital and actually maybe create a monopoly with the 3D printing world, it could be very good. Specifically with those PCB circuit boards. Also, there's some other juicy news if you haven't seen it yet. As you know, they have a collaboration with Harris Corporation, which is now L3Harris. And the US Navy has awarded L3Harris with a $496 million contract to produce high-capacity airborne electronic warfare systems. So they want to create like a tactical jamming system for their fleets. So this is where all the speculation has come from. It's come from an Israeli business news article, and it's a website called Globes. So when reading through the article of Globes here, we can see that they've stated that Nano Dimensions has just raised $250 million. And they've raised in total $657 million since September. They then go on to state that they believe that Nano Dimensions is looking to make a large acquisition because they've raised so much capital. The article talks about them taking advantage of how Wall Street's gone crazy, it's unstable at the moment, and how it may be strategic for them to make a large acquisition as of this moment. Then in this article, they compared a massive company, well, Stratasys is so much bigger than Nano Dimensions. They had a revenue of $400 million between January and September. So the article then goes on to speak about another Israeli printing company called Stratasys. And this company had a revenue of nearly $400 million between January and September 2020, but they have a similar market cap to Nano Dimensions. And Nano Dimensions only had a revenue of $1.5 million during that time. So with the article released, we could see that they were raising the $250 million for strategic opportunities, including acquisition of companies. And then their CEO, Yoav Stern, said that we are adjusting our focus in order to leverage our strong cash on the one hand, and the clam on the markets as a result of a continued influence of COVID-19. While Wall Street is behaving unstably at the moment, on Main Street there's a continuing slowdown following the closure of factories and delays in capital expenditure. This is an environment that allows Nano Dimension to make effective use of the support of its shareholders, and we have at the moment 2 targets on which we are focusing: speeding up and promoting our research and development. At the same time, we're looking for a private company to acquire at the right price whose value has fallen, and that is synergetic. Okay, so there's a lot of different companies in the 3D printing space. Nano Dimensions had a cash position of $430 million as of December 2020. And with the recent round of funding, they're going to have a little bit more than that, maybe $685 million that they were saying in the article. I think fundamentally it's going to boil down to what is their vision for their company and who they want to acquire. What is their plan? Are they trying to buy a competitor out? Are they trying to monopolize their particular niche in printing, the PCBs? Are they just trying to get another company that's going to cash flow for them and generate some money? Or are they going to invest in a company that can potentially increase their sales and get their machine in front of loads of different other companies? So what I did was I went back into an old video. This is by Mike Elliott here. Thank you, Mike. And it's the CEO discussing what his visions are for his company.
2020 3D printer says, we want to make sure that we can support a constant supply to hundreds and thousands of customers. The inks being manufactured in the new production facility are the nano silver conductive ink and the special dielectric ink, which are being used by our customers for generating printed circuit boards and other 3D electrified objects. The business model of Nano Dimension involves the revenue from the 3D printer and the ongoing revenues from the inks, which are, they involve high margins. The more printers out there, the more need for ink. It's a classic razor and razor blade revenue model.
Okay, the next thing I did was just look at all the potential competitors in their fields, and I was trying to think what would be the most beneficial thing for Nano Dimensions to do. Would it be to buy a competitor that is solely focused on their field, or would it be to buy a competitor that is looking into other fields in terms of 3D printing? So I saw this name pop up a lot on the internet, as you can see here, Optimec. and they're printing basically 3D circuit boards as well. And their AeroSet jet technology enables 3D printed electronics as well, electrical components such as resistors, capacitors, antennas, sensors. And they were also looking at similar industries to Nano Dimensions, so it's including, you know, military aerospace, semiconductor packaging, Internet of Things, alternative energy. Then I also looked at another competitor, which is Felix, but they were working on bioprinters as well as food printing, so they were more of a jack of all trades. Then I went onto another website and I looked at MarketBeat and I saw Nano Dimensions competitors, and I was comparing which competitors, and I looked at their current market cap, how much they're actually generating in revenue, and I was trying to figure out, with the current cash on hand that Nano Dimensions has, who would they strategically like to buy that would help them out. And I saw one of the cheapest companies here, Eltech. I saw that this company is an Israeli company, and it's also owned by this parent organization called Nistek Golan. So a little background into Eltech. Eltech is a global manufacturer and supplier of technologically advanced solutions in the field of printed circuit boards. And Eltech has claimed that they are a leader in the field of electronics manufacturing, and they serve more than 300 customers in diverse markets such as medical, defense, aerospace, and high-speed digital and RF boards. So it makes it seem that it's very similar to what Nano Dimensions is doing. And the next thing I wanted to do was look at their parent organization. So this is their parent organization, it's Nistek, and they claim to have excellence across the board.
Here at Nistek, we love facing challenges. That's why high-end companies choose us to produce a quick model from design to the product. Even when using cutting-edge technologies for mass PCB production, for us, every single detail matters. Because we really do care. For that reason, the entire process, an integrative solution, takes place here, as it has since 1985. At Nistek, Israel.
So what do you think, guys? Let me know what your thoughts are. Let's take a deeper look into Nistek. So looking at the company profile, you can see it was founded in 1985. So Nistek provides a full service, so not just only prototyping and design in the beginning, but also to the end product, including design, manufacture, and assembly services. So currently they have 900 employees, and they turn the dream into reality for a broad range of companies with regards to communication, medical, military, security, industrial, vehicle, and more. So if we look in terms of scalability and mass production, we can see here that 2013 they acquired Eltech, a leading global provider of complex, rigid, and flex rigid printed circuit boards. In 2016, the house of Nistek was inaugurated in Ma'alot with an investment of about $11 million. So it had a new production plant, and it's one of the largest, most advanced production sites for the assembly and production of electronic products in Israel, with an annual production capacity of approximately 350 million component placements. And then here you can see the Nistek Group has purchased land on an area of 100,000 square feet for the construction of a new electronics factory in the Golan Heights of Israel. Nistek shall invest some $7 million into the new site, including a laboratory floor, which startup companies shall receive services required for speedy development and production of new products. So you see, when I was saying that Nano Dimensions could potentially acquire a private company, here we can see that Nistek is a private company. And also Nistek serves more than 500 customers in diverse markets such as communications, medical, defense, aerospace, and automotive industries. So I don't know whether or not Nano Dimensions is going to buy another Israeli company, or they're looking to branch out into other fields. But if they wanted to focus on the electronics fields, this looks like a decent company they could take a look at. So what do you guys think? Who do you think Nano Dimensions is going to acquire, and what is your reasoning behind it? Do you think that they should try and acquire one of the big boys in the industry who have a lot of customers and clients already and can potentially boost Nano Dimensions' exposure to the marketplace? Let me know your thoughts surrounding this. So another thing I wanted to pick up on was they're buying more shares than ever, and you can see here in the ARC-Q Holdings ETF, they've got 4.7 million shares, $38 million, but they also spent $30 million and opened a position in another folder. So as you can see, this is Nano Dimensions ARC Next Generation Internet ETF, and at the bottom here you can see Nano Dimensions, they have opened a position in there too. $30 million, 3.6 million shares. This looks like a relatively new position. It's right at the bottom. It's 0.5% of the whole portfolio, but it's still $30 million. And they have over 8 million shares in total now of Nano Dimensions. So clearly something is going on. ARK Invest probably knows something very big about Nano Dimensions and something is about to happen. They know there's a potential catalyst for maybe the stock to boom, or maybe this acquisition that they're going to make is key, and ARK Invest believes in it a lot. Mr. Investalot, thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Please hit me with a like and a subscribe. I really appreciate all the support you've given me. See you later.